Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the LaunchDay podcast. I'm your host, Dean Cvetkoski, a.k.a. WhoDean, and today in studio, this is one of our online studios. So this is our online studio where we go and do some free interviews for people just like you that are listening, and we actually give you some free content out of it as well, which is really cool. Love it. Would love to have you here. Today on the show, we have a man. He's not just a man. He's not just a myth. He is a legend. And he goes by the name of Eugene Cvetkoski. And let me tell you, this guy I have heard so many great things about. So, Eugene, how are you going?
Really good. I'm worried.
You're worried? Why are you worried, man?
What have you heard?
What have I heard? Lots of people saying bad things. No, really good things. Really, really good things, man. I'm hearing a lot on the grapevine that, you have been doing a lot of work in the SEO space and you have been killing it. And this is a great topic to discuss, right? Because, for a very long time for me, it was only very recently that I actually understood the power of SEO. Because the issue that I had was that the people that did it for me didn't produce any results. So it was like, yeah, okay, you when you actually search for your business name, you get ranked up. When, you search for certain keywords, but nothing too specific, you come up. But that's not where the search traffic's coming from. It's from people asking questions like, how do I fix this hole in my wall? And then you might have like I'm telling you how to do your job now, right? But you'll have like an article that for a client that's like a handyman that tells them how to fix it, and then gives them instructions because that's what people are searching for. And then right at the end, hey, if you need a hand, give us a call. So for the longest time, I've always been very taboo about SEO. So, dude, tell me about it. Share with me the great success that everyone else has shared with me. Tell me what's up. Tell me what you do.
I mean, you nailed it. I fell into SEO by accident.
Okay.
And I sort of kicked off by building websites for my family, my parents, mum, my dad. And I just fell in love with the game of fiddling with Google and figuring out how Google makes decisions. And so I never intended actually to do work for clients. I never intended to sell websites or do this work for clients. I just wanted to rank my own sites. But then what ended up happening, I ended up ranking for things like plumbers in Bayside, electricians, roofers, a lot of trade stuff. And I'm like, shit, I've got these leads. What do I do with these leads? And I literally had this scenario just yesterday where I literally just call around and say, hey, this inquiry just came through. Do you want to take it? And then just take all the inquiries on the site. And they all came back to me saying, hey, let's actually work together. And I said, no, I don't want to work for you. So that's how it all kicked off for me some years back. And I still rank a lot of my own websites. But you nailed it. There are key terms. I call them Egyptian snow shovels. So a lot of SEOs will say that you rank at the top for your brand, but there's only one or two Dean Cvetkoskis in the world. So it's easy to rank for your name, right? And that's what I refer to by an Egyptian snow shovel. It doesn't exist. So it's easy to rank for a keyword that has no search volume, right? But it's a bit harder to rank for injury lawyer.
I've ever heard in my life, right? Man, I'll tell you.
So it's and that's where unfortunately my industry is filled with
Egyptian snow shovelers.
Well, yeah, nailed it.
That's right.
So yeah, in a nutshell, I rank a lot of websites that are my own. These days, I have a lot of client campaigns, and I use my own websites to push the leads to client campaigns. That article that you just mentioned, how to do that certain thing, it's not just the lead that can come from that, because that lead might come from Darwin, but you're providing the service in Melbourne. It's the SEO juice that article sends internally to the main page that you want to rank for tree removal. That's the other value of that article. Then that article could be externally linking to another website, which is of benefit to me or somebody else. There's a whole bunch of reasons why and how you can make an article or something rank at the top of Google work.
Yeah,
we're not diving too deep too soon.
No, you're good, man. I love it deep, right? So the deeper the better, because that's exactly what mine and your audiences want to hear, right?
Yeah.
So super duper important that that we go really deep so people understand it. Because the thing is, if we go surface level, a lot of those people that are listening are going to be like, "Oh yeah, heard it all before." Do you know what I mean? So the more detail that we go into, because like you
All
said,
right.
Egyptian snow shovelers, you know what? They have a lot of practice shoveling sand, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So the thing is that the
Egyptian
snow is
sand
where the
shovel.
money's at, but they've been practicing with sand, right? So they can still talk the talk, but they may not be able to walk the walk. So the deeper we go here, the better.
I wonder if there's search volume in Egyptian sand shovels. And that's honestly where I started. Is
It's
I many
curiosity,
many
dude.
years ago
Yeah.
figured out Google Keyword Planner and Google
Mm.
Trends,
Okay.
and literally whatever had more search volume that wasn't too hectic to rank, I'd purchase those exact match domains, I'd build them out, and I'd let them marinate.
Mm.
And a year later, you get an inquiry. One came through one of my fencing contractor sites yesterday. Hey, I need a 30-meter color bond fence. We're in
Okay.
Avondale Heights. My name's whatever. And I
Okay.
quickly called the fencing contractors. Guys, can someone take this lead?
That's
It's all
good.
fun. It's,
That's
yeah.
good, man. Really, really good. So I have a couple of questions, right? I have a couple of questions around the SEO side of things,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, like how is it exactly? How does SEO produce the results that people want? So, like in terms of like what's kind of like let's go because at the end of the day, people aren't going to be able to implement these strategies themselves. But what makes good SEO to start driving some amazing traffic your way to your business, to your website? How
Yeah.
do you manage that?
So first of all, everyone can do this. There's no secrets here. There's just a lot of things. It's kind of like when you're building a house, you need to check all the boxes with the council, right? And obviously for that you might need an engineer, you need an architect, you need a draft, and everything that goes into building a house. But at the end of the day, the council has rules and regulations of what the house should be. Same with Google. Google just don't display these rules and regulations in a list for you. But what Google do is they show you the sites that are ranking at the top. So
Mm,
there's the algorithm. If we go and deconstruct the top 10 sites for that key term, maybe it's lawyer Melbourne, hypothetically, accountant Melbourne, there's the
mm,
algorithm. And so it all starts with understanding what is the key term with the right intent that will bring me the business that is profitable for me. Not SEO doesn't apply to everybody. If you're selling t-shirts, unless you've got a key term like t-shirts for amputee midgets or something like that, where there's a direct key term, you're just not going to do SEO in the t-shirt space. Or a lot of the
yeah.
time it's in the cosmetic space because you've got monster sites going after it. But as long as there's a key term, especially a localized key term, you select it, you choose it, you ask, hey, if I get traffic on this key term, will it bring me money?
Mm,
How do we begin? Let's have a look at who ranks in that space. Because if the top 3 or 4 or 5 results are like yellow pages and monster sites in that space, well, maybe we need to fight a different battle because we're never going to rank for some of those key terms. So we look at the first 10 pages. We look how big is this website? Is it a Jim's Cleaning with multi locations? We're never going to outrank Jim's Cleaning for cleaning keywords. We might outrank them locally. I don't know if I'm getting to your answer, but I guess we deconstruct what's at the top, and we look at what they have. If they've got 100 blogs, if they've got 100 backlinks, if they've got 100 pages, be the average of the top 10, if that makes sense, without me getting technical.
yeah. No, I totally get that. And so, I mean, how does SEO compare with other paid methods? So I mean, you can
Yeah.
run Google ads. Obviously, it's more expensive. You can run Google ads, and then you're automatically up the top. Is there, is there still a stigma around people clicking on ads? Because I know there used to be one where you'd go on
Yeah.
and then you'd scroll right past the ads because you were like, oh no, well, people are paying for that spot. Is that
So,
still a thing, or?
some months we run up to 400 grand a month on Google ads currently, and about 90K a month, 90K on Facebook ad. So some of the core thing that we do is Google ads, and a lot of my SEO campaigns I'll insist on Google ads. And so
Mm,
look at it like this. These days, everybody clicks on Google ads. Yes, there was negatively sort of negative perceptions of people clicking on an ad Like, let's say we're looking for cats and they're driving us to a page about dogs, unethical behavior, dodging things out. So Google has weeded that crap out. So Google Ads definitely work, but look at Google Ads as a rental strategy. So
Okay.
if you want to live in that house, you can pay rent right now, live in that house, you get the clicks. SEO is the ownership strategy where you invest in that house, you got to pay stamp duty. It's going to be a while before you break even, and hey, you got a mortgage on your head. So SEO is like a heavy long-term game that will bring you results, but those results might come a year or two down the track, depending on the space. So Google Ads definitely can be heavily profitable. I've got an arborist campaign in Essendon that's performing at $23 per lead. That's dirt cheap if you think about it. I mean, it could be a lead of a grandma asking for her rose bush to be trimmed, or it could be 10 palm trees at a local cemetery. And now we're talking, a decent job.
Yeah, it
and
kind of
everything in
balances
between.
out, doesn't it?
Yeah, whereas an injury lawyer campaign or a pest control campaign, the leads might be $170 a lead, where that lead might not be positively geared, but then you go do that thing and give the magnet on their fridge, and then they'll refer you, and then your happy days, you win.
So like, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I've always, in terms of like SEO strategies that I've always thought of or put together, have always been around education first and then lead into everything else later. So,
Yeah, give take.
find yeah. So find the, like, so this, like I said, and you can elaborate on this, but from a very basic level, I look at it going back to the education piece, how to fix a hole in the wall, or how to cut a tree down. That could be a
Yeah.
combination of both written, video, or audio, however which way, and then having people go and find that content to drive those outcomes. And you know what? Like, even a content strategy, because content, like, again, it's video, audio, written. Even the content strategy, you see these guys that are doing free lawn mowing on TikTok, and they'll go and they'll mow it down, and people just love it, satisfying, and it's philanthropy,
Yeah.
right? So philanthropy is
Yeah.
actually the number one performing content method on the internet right now. And so, they do that philanthropy. They're getting 500,000 likes on a bloody post, on a video, but the amount of income they're generating, from just their local communities. Man, could you imagine if these guys actually, just for a minute, so I'm sidetracked now, but could you imagine if they actually had the smarts to go and open up a franchise like nationally? Jesus, they'd be smashing it. But like,
we don't know that they're not, right? I reckon they are killing it on the business, because no doubt they're getting a lot of business from it, and they're just funneling it through their personal brand and sending off the leads, lead gen. There's a lot of ways to do it. So to come back to exactly what you just said, that article of how to do certain things, look at it as you're doing that, to genuinely share value with the world, but from an SEO standpoint, you're building trust with Google. When you load up 50 long form guide-like blogs that hit that topic, and they are the blog of all blog on that piece of on that topic, Google will send a few visitors to that page as a test, and it will see how they engage with the content, if they're reading all the way through it, if they're going all the way down. That's why it's good to have a video on the page. It's good for your content to be easily readable, divided with images and not a wall of text. And then it's like, you know what? This website delivered a good experience from someone that clicked on Google. That means they're going to come back to Google again. So everything starts from sharing meaningful, good content online, which builds that level of trust. But then that's 50% of the SEO campaign, which is things that happen on the website, things like blogs, main pages, about us page, team page, a real genuine brand. But then the other 50% is actually things that happen off the website, which is essentially mentions from other websites. It's kind of like plumbing that goes to the house and sends the SEO juice to the house. If you don't have as many backlinks, you won't get to the top in certain spaces where the competition do have those backlinks, do have the plumbing to the house. Does that make sense? So yes, content is king, but don't expect to overtake websites that have captured the content as king theory and then send some powerful backlinks. We're getting a bit technical here, but essentially things that happen on the site and things that happen off the site.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. I want to go through like a practical use case, because I think
Sure.
that's probably, to demonstrate, like, talking about it's great, and it's like, yeah, anyone
Yep.
can read off of, whatever they learned on Google or YouTube. Let's use a practical use case, right? A
Hmm.
practical use case that gives us a bit more and gives our viewers a bit more of an insight into exactly what they can expect by working with you, right? So the use case that I have is actually Nora. She's in the audience, by the way. She's said hello in the chat. You can say hello in the chat
How
again,
do
Nora,
I
no problem.
how do I get to the
Um,
chat? All right.
Bottom right hand side, people, chat, media. You should be able to see chat there.
People, I can see chat, whisper backstage. All right.
That's all right.
All right, let's go.
So
Let's go case study.
yeah, so Nora has her Nature's Defense product. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, Nature's Defense, it's a natural mold killing product,
Hmm.
right? So you're searching up natural mold, killing or killer and stuff like that already, right? Love it. So
Yeah.
he's on the tools, he's getting ready. I like this. This is a practical use case,
Let's
right?
rock and
This is really
roll.
good. I love it. I love it. This is really good. So Nature's Defense, it has a natural mold product, and what it is, it's an oil that's been made derived from natural products.
Hmm.
It gets diffused into the air for 24 hours. It kills all mold in the area, and both airborne and on the surfaces, and then final with a wipe down.
Hmm.
Now the thing is that she actually wants cleaners to actually purchase her products. She wants distributors to stock her products because she'd rather deal with distributors buying in bulk than dealing with individual orders to be sent out. She wants to send
Yeah.
pallets, not boxes, right? So distributors, cleaners to buy her product. And then she also wants to educate consumers because most consumers will use bleach to wipe down mold or get rid of mold.
Yeah.
But as she says, all they're doing is actually feeding the mold because 97% of bleach is actually it's actually an acid. If correct me if I'm wrong, it's a what's that one that dissolves metal? Hydrochloric acid. It was something like
Oof.
that. Yeah, dissolved, and it's actually been diluted with 97% water.
Okay.
And so mold grows from water. And so when people, the general public, go to clean mold, the thing is that they are not actually cleaning the mold; they're feeding it. And there's a lot of articles online that tell you to use bleach, and they're wrong, right? Because they don't actually kill it. The thing is,
Yeah.
a lot of those are common, so they're like kind of this is how it kind of has already gone in the world. This is how just the general rule of thumb. Whereas hers is backed by research and science. Shoot, how do we
Yeah.
grow it? How do we make money? How do we get hundreds of thousands of people? Run me through it. Hey, yes, I'm talking to you, and I know it looks like the interview, but it's actually not. We're taking a really quick, short break so that way you can hear me out. I really want you to hear me out here. If you are a business owner, you are building your personal brand. I mean, you could be anyone. You could be a real estate agent, you could be an astronaut, an IT professional. It really doesn't matter who you are and where you fit into the world. This interview is great for you. If you're really struggling to make content, and let's face it, right? When we get our phones out and we're like, taking selfies and doing videos that way, it just comes across as inauthentic. And the other side of that as well is the fact that it's just so hard to come up with ideas of what kind of content to create. And this is where our interviews absolutely bring a powerhouse and an arsenal of, basically a war chest in terms of your organic content marketing that you're creating. We create the TikToks and Reels for you. Here's the thing. I've got some great news. The great news is that this interview is completely free. We boost your SEO on Google because we go and feature these videos like the one you're watching on YouTube. And not only that, but we also give you free content to post to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all the rest of it as well. So if you haven't already, in the description down below is a link to Linktree where you'll see the opportunity for you to book your very own interview and get free content for your personal brand or your business as well. I'll see you on the other side of the screen.
So the complex here is the B2B section. But let's go back to basics. Right now, Mold Killer gets 1,000 900 searches every single month in Google. That's a real
Yep.
rough figure. Overall, there's about 9.8 thousand variations that term gets used each month. So almost 10K of traffic is being searched in Google where the term mold killer is used. That includes mold killer Bunnings being searched for 590 times. It means people are looking for whatever that thing is at Bunnings, right?
Sorry to interject, right? So good question. Can you go and tap into that? Can you go and create an article that says 5 products you can buy from Bunnings to get rid of mold, and then you put that on the website? Is that a strategy? Like,
so what you're asking? So basically, this is what I execute on I call them marination campaigns. For example, I picked up a domain a year ago, fencing-contractors. Right, I built all of the pages. I call them SEO pages or service pages. Color bond fencing, timber fencing, all of the fencing that can be installed. Bang. So there's the service pages. In the background, we created 50 2,500 to 3,500 long form guide like blogs on all of those individual services. So for example, color bond fence, if you type in color bond fence into Google, or in this case, mold killer, first question they get asked is, can mold killer be toxic? Go ahead and answer that. First of all, go research the question. Go and find the best articles that rank at the top. Agree to them, disagree with them, have your say, and answer that question the best possible way. I can see 29, total of 160 questions that are getting Googled every month where the term mold killer, how to make mold killer, is mold killer toxic? I mean, that's the same question as the first question, just reworded. So things will be repeated. But I'm already seeing a structure of a blog. So the H1 main title will be, can mold killer be toxic? Then a H2 or a H3 in the article might be answering, is mold killer dangerous, right? Dangerous and toxic are very, very similar key terms. And you don't need super duper tools. You literally just need to go to Google and open up PAA, people also ask, and keep opening up, and it will actually keep opening up unlimited, if that makes sense.
I have noticed that, yeah.
Eventually you'll move into like shoulder niches, but basically Google is showing you what the algorithm is. If you want to rank for mold killer, go and load up 50 to 100 blogs on these topics. Don't expect results in the first 6 or 7 months. Probably you won't get any results for a year. The results come quicker when there are more powerful websites that begin mentioning your blogs. So let's play this out. Natural website goes up. A crazy world's best article goes up on, can mold killer be toxic? Maybe Nora gets on camera, shows her experience and talks about her product while answering that question, right? That article is so valuable, it gets picked up by the news or whatever, and it gets links pointed to it. Now, Eugene here has over 800 domains, and so guess where he gets his links from very quickly. But there's a lot of ways you can build links. If you provide statistics on can mold killer be toxic, and you hit up a whole bunch of news companies, they might pick up that article and they might link to that article. And all of a sudden, Google sees this incredible piece of content go up. News agencies and PR firms are mentioning it. Google's like, you know what? This website is now more trustworthy than before in my eyes.
Yeah, because it's obviously the link backs from the news.
That is SEO. But we've been heavily talking about blogging and because it makes sense and people understand it, but that's one of many things that happen with a website on a monthly basis.
Got ya. So, that's great, right? And that's, being able to understand that strategy even more, it makes a lot of sense. And then you're right. So if you are making submissions to, the press and saying, hey, like, so it could be someone died because of fungus in their sinuses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was as a result of mold. Bang, hit up the news straight away, because they love just tailing on article. Because you see it when you go to the news articles, they talk about a previous article and they link it, right?
Yeah.
So they're linking their own articles from the past in bringing things forward. So you're right. That's awesome, man. I've never thought of it that way, that's awesome. It's really good. So
one of the best, just to wrap that bit up, one of the best link building strategies is called Haro, which is hit up a reporter. I forget exactly what it is, or help a reporter out, where you share, you're helping the reporter do their job, and they're always looking for news. And I mean, the reporters are being smashed with this, but if you share something that is maybe local to that suburb or that area that is relevant to your thing, you may get a credit from, Channel 7 or whichever website that might be in a high authority on that topic.
That's awesome,
It's
man.
one of
That's
many ways
actually
to get
really
links.
sick. That's really sick. So look, I have a question because you mentioned about opening up 150 blogs. And then
Yeah.
when you said open 150 blogs, I sat there and there's no way in hell I'm sitting there reading 150 blogs, right?
No one does.
Yeah.
So no one browsing a website clicks on blogs, by the way. These blogs are not for people that land on your website. If someone's landed on your website, it means you've been referred somewhere or they've found you organically. They're never going to see those blogs. Where those blogs give value is a number of ways. Firstly, it's for the Google robot, the Google crawler that visits your website when you update Google Search Console and you say, hey, Google, come check me out. They send the crawler. I've got Google talking back at me right now. They send the crawler. They read the blog. Like, wow, geez, this topic is incredible about mold. I'm going to trust this website a bit more. Eventually, that will get traffic. But where does that traffic come from? It doesn't come from someone hitting your homepage. It comes from them coming straight from Google. Does that answer your...
Correct. Yeah, definitely. Well, where I was getting to with that is, I wanted to move into AI and look at things like ChatGPT. Like, obviously, that'd be a really big challenge right now. And so, me hearing 150 articles and analyzing them and then writing my own, et cetera, that makes me go, I'd rather just get ChatGPT to do that. So, I mean, what's the difference between having someone like you to be doing those things and having more control over it versus just hiring ChatGPT to do that for them instead? Like, where's the difference, and what are the
Yeah.
pros and cons?
So one blog goes through 4 teams. We've got about 50 employees right now, give or take. Some are full-time, some are just part-time per hour, just a team. So one blog will go through 4 steps. The first step is research, deconstructing the competitors, deconstructing the niche, exporting these 160 questions that are in front of me right now about mold killer. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is essentially citing the best news on, or the best answers on that particular topic. Finding people that research this stuff. So how do we make a better piece of content than's already at the top? So it's just about bettering that. Then we look at averages. For example, if the top 5 articles have 1,200 words, then we average 1,200 words. So these are all things that you can use tools to report back. And we're talking granular level, like use 50 words in bold, use 50 words in italic, have 7 H2 titles. So we're getting real technical here. I don't worry about that stuff to that level on the blog side of things. And so there's a second team, there's the third team that are the actual writers that write the content. The fourth team then upload the content. But if you're just slapping up content, it's only useful if the internal and external links, in other words, the plumbing that flows through the house. So when there's a blog about mold killer, that first anchor text where it says mold killer should be sending SEO juice to your main service page that you're trying to rank for mold killer. So if we scrap the B2B side of things, we agree that Nora wants to rank for mold killer. If she gets traffic for mold killer product or variations of that word, that's good, right, Nora? So how do we do that? We make the term mold killer dominant. Let's say it's in the homepage, or the homepage might be Nora's brand website, and then there'll be a / mold killer or ethical mold killer, whatever that key term is in the permalink. And so the SEO juice from the blog should be flowing to that service page. This is called a reverse silo, where you're essentially building the trust with Google through this cluster of supporting blog content. You're sending the SEO juice to the main service page. This is very different to what a lot of SEO agencies execute, because what normal agencies do is let's just send all the links to the homepage and all the links to the service page. But that's not natural. But links to the blog are natural, because like that blog is sharing valuable information, where the service page is just trying to sell. It's like, why Google's like, why are we sending blogs to the service page then? I mean, we're getting a bit deep, but that's phase 1. Phase 2, the B2B side, Nora, while SEO is good, that's a bit different. It's like a campaign that I did for Screw Piles. Who needs screw piles? Builders. So it's a question. Does the builder Google screw piles? Yeah, they do. Sweet. SEO works. So would your B2B client Google mold killer? Probably, right?
You doing
Yeah,
some research? Was that it? Was there more to that?
I
Or
was
was
just
there
I
a
was trying to
pause?
read Nora's comments, but
Yeah.
So we've okay. Next question. So we sort of sidestep into a different topic.
No, you're good, man. I think we've got time for one more. And the ultimate question here, Eugene, is what's the plan for you in future? Like you're very good at doing these things now. What does the future look like for you, for your clients? Run me through it.
Honestly, I'm blessed and genuinely I think the word is blessed that I have too many amazing clients finding me, and my issue right now is gently not declining the work, but just I'm trying to build systems and processes that keep that passion and that care for every single campaign. So I decline most work because I want to make sure that my current clients that have been with me since 2016, 2017, 2015, these are monthly campaigns where we've some of the campaigns we've built and rebuilt the website. We've slapped up many Google Ads landing pages, many Facebook pages. So in other words, to answer your question, is scaling meaningfully from the inside. So it's how do I deliver more of these campaigns with the same level of success? I mean, I think everyone has these problems. How do you scale and then keep that passion on all the campaigns? So more success, I guess, is what I want for my clients.
That's awesome, man. That's really good, brother. That's really, really good. And listen, Eugene, where can people find you?
I actually try to hide myself, and I try to hide my website. I actually de-optimized my website. So I've launched a new Instagram account called CMO Eugene. No one knows about it. It's got like 4 followers. Just somehow friends have found me.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm literally just sharing I call it chief marketing officer Eugenus shares tales from the trenches of running an SEO agency.
Okay.
Where as soon as I do something, I'll share what I just did. Maybe I built a landing page for a civil engineer, and I just share what I did, so I can hopefully that content can help someone else in that position that needs that done. Rank.net.au is my agency, and CMO Eugene on Instagram is like where they can find me at this stage, or Eugene@rank.net.au is my email.
Yeah, awesome. Not a problem at all. Eugene, thank you so much for your time, man. Really appreciate it.
No worries, Dean. Thanks for having me.
You're very, very welcome, mate. And for all of you listening at home, as Eugene said, you're more than welcome to reach out to him directly. If you did want to reach out to us and get in touch as well, feel free to reach out to us at support@launchday.au. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the LaunchDay podcast. And we'll see you guys on the next one.